Hello Tubesters, it's Gav. Welcome to another one of my videos. If there is any more noise in the background, and there he goes. I was going to say, that's my Pop, well I say Pop, he's 11, but that's Archie. And he's got his dummy wedged in his gob. If you're outside the UK, that's your mouth. Yeah, he wants some attention, as if he doesn't get enough. Right. It's a look at these 6 plastic Perrys, French line infantry. As I've said, I'm doing them 6 at a time. Yeah, I'm milking videos. No, I'm not really. It's just, I'm doing them in 6s, and I thought, well, rather than, people like to see the Napoleonics, if my analyticals are anything to go by, I don't really consult them a great deal. To be honest with you, I don't really understand them. I left school with no mathematics whatsoever, and all these graphs and pie charts, and I know what pi is. I love pi. Pie. Anyway, let's get back to it. Yeah, pie. Chicken and mushroom pie, apple pie. Concentrate, Gav. Yeah, I'm doing this because they're just here. Yeah, I've completed 6, as I said to you the other day, and I've got 6 which are probably halfway through. As I've said before, I've actually really enjoyed doing them. I only tend to bleary eyes. I only get to do them, 40 minutes here, half an hour there. But it's been an enjoyable little project. As I say, I'm not gaming any of this stuff. I just enjoy painting it. I have got plenty of different units, and I was saying to somebody on a comment, I've got so many part armies, projects, shoulda, woulda, coulda. I look at other stuff, and yeah, you get sidetracked so many times, don't you? But it's, at the moment, it's just easier for me. I need the income as well, but it's easier for me to paint and enjoy the painting process. That's not to say I won't game again. I probably will do, but I mean, I've just seen my married Dougie. Go and check out Dougie's wargaming show. I believe that's what it is. He's just done a rule book update. It looked really good, actually. I'm not massively into the rules because I'm not gaming at the moment, and I just can't retain it all up here. But I enjoyed the production value of that book. It was very good, and it wanted me. I'd been looking at some Perry miniatures for something else, commercially wise, though, to paint and sell. But I did look at their German paras that they've got for North Africa, and I would more use them for like Sicily and around that era. But yeah, they look really good. Good job I ain't got no money. Right, so let's go down and take a look at these Napoleonics and see what we think. Right guys, we'll look at one at a time, principally to string out 6 figures. Nah, again, I'll just, it's more for the fact that the camera doesn't pick up everything in the background. Painting no differently than the others, although there will be slight differences. I'll pick up one I'm painting at the moment. Let's get the guy with the, let's look at the greys. You're going to tell me, Gav, there's no difference apart from mud to this guy, one little bit on his greatcoat, but there are subtle differences, probably too subtle, but I like to just change it up a bit, so I'll usually put sometimes a base colour a bit different. I've been basing a lot of these in greens and then building up with the greys, just to give you that different tonal variation. As I say, it's probably wasted on somebody who just wants to get them on the tabletop, but I enjoy doing it. You want to know that when you buy a figure off Gav, especially if I'm not having to paint to for a particular reason, and I'm just letting the painting flow, you do get stuff that has a bit of thought going into it, even if they're not always accurate. So as you can see, I've muddied up this guy here. One little tip when you're doing, well, not tip really, when you're putting some filth on the on and around the jackets and stuff like that, I usually put 2 or 3 colours into the mud, and I also speckle it up. You can flick it with a paintbrush, so you get your paintbrush, take the majority of your this. Now if you are going to flick, don't blame Gav when it all goes wrong. I don't do it really on these. I will do it on display figures and things because they've got more surface area. I would suggest just dabbing bits of little dots of mud up there. But so rather than just have it, because we've all had mud flick uppers. I mean, I'm walking my pups all the time, and obviously I come back usually covered in crud, and I get a bit artistic. You notice although the boots are worn on the caps at the front and that toes, I've blued up just for paint variation. I've blued up the gaiters with some dark sea blue, and they haven't got a ton of mud on them. Now you'd say, well, if he's got all that, yes, I know, I understand the gaiters would be all muddied up as well, but there isn't a lot of surface area to work on there. If this was a display figure at 54mm and above, I would do that. But in this case, I've deliberately left them. I have done it on some, or just lightly scuffed them up on the gaiters, but I wanted to show a lot more tonal variation, if that makes sense. Because what I've done with these guys on the whole is I've used, say, black rubber black, which is like a black brown for the boots, and I've also used it for anything with a shako cover on. But the shakos themselves, and usually the cartridge boxes, I've used NATO black on, so it's a paler black. Again, unless you're the guy doing them, you probably won't even notice, but I know I've done it. It's just trying to show black isn't black, and there's lots of different colours to it. That makes sense. I've ripped up the cartridge boxes on some, so the top black leather's been peeled off, leaving the other leather below, things like that. So that's our first guy. Another greatcoat. And again, the greatcoats in the unit, I think the one I'm doing at the moment, I've got 3 of these, like what I call oatmeal biscuit colour type greatcoats, and only 1 grey actually being worn. Whereas these guys here, we've got 2 grey and 1 brown. Again, I just try and mix it all up. It's too easy to fall into the trap of saying, right, each stand will have, or each base will have two greatcoats on them, and one will be grey and one will be brown, because it then gets a bit formulaic, if that makes sense. Again, just not having a pop, just my way of looking at things. The only thing I haven't done there, which I completely forgot on this guy and on one of the others I believe, is I need to put an even tinier blue dot, which will probably obliterate the rosette there. It's only white and red at the moment. I completely forgot that. So saying that this guy here, he's actually got his jacket on his back. I mean, that could be anything. You could paint it as a blanket. You could paint it as a civilian blanket. Anything. Again, I've mixed up the backpacks. Some have got the mixed cowhide, some haven't. The cords on the canteens, some have got company cords, so the same as a pom-pom, and some have just got either brown or just white, like a cotton, just an easy lanyard type stuff that they can throw together. And again, dirtied these up a bit. The trousers I find the hardest to get some muck on are the actual, like the ochre type trousers I've been doing, just because of the colour. Hard to show up, and unless I go really dark on them, and I don't want to do that because it'll make them look a bit strange against the others. Again, we've got some sewn on patches. We've got another sewn on one there. I've done it as if he's either sewn up his trousers, or he's had some spare white linens from some old trousers and he's put that on rather than a coloured patch. A clean cartridge box on this one. He will have a couple of scratches in, it's probably not showing up, but I like this with the torn shako cover. I've noticed these are shining up quite light under the lights, and they're not. They're actually, I put a bit of purple in there as well, give it an indigo look. But they're shining up under the light a fair bit. Not gone to town on the emblems. They're just rough and ready, but they're there. Got his loaf of bread on the back. Another one with a torn up. I've put the brass end on. He's got his shako. He's already got a patch on the one side there. Needs to do something about that one. Now this guy I've done as a sergeant. He's got his rank stripe there. As his sergeant, he's fairly clean. Got a bit of muck on the base, but not. Again, I try and mix it up because I know it sounds a bit ridiculous, but yes, they're all marching in the same unit. But you don't know when this bloke got a new pair of trousers. You know, it's he could have had them literally that morning. It's all things like that. You just mix it up a bit, you know. Put the 55 for the regiment on there. Again, not brilliantly, but it's I've been given the tails and the epaulets. That's, you know, the breast part. I've been doing that like in a warm colours of white. We've just got the one here with the tan. Again, I'd mix up those colours. Some units have got 2 in, sometimes 1. I've kept white as the predominant, so some units will have 2, some will have 1 with these tan cut trousers. I didn't want to do the blooded head bandage because that's, again, you'll see that a lot, so I've just given a clean bandage. He's had it on today. He went on sick parade and he was expecting some light duties for the next week, and all they did was giving him a clean bandage and told him to go back into the ranks, do his job. There we go. Photographs at the end. Again, they're only shot with this video camera as a, you know, they're nothing special, but that, you know, they suffice. And let's just get that back slightly. How far away are they? And then, as I say, we're roughly at this stage with the other 6. Still a fair bit to go yet. As I say, I only do them up in a catch. I can't devote loads of time to them because obviously I've got the client's own Napoleonics I'm painting. We are probably about halfway through his next 7, and then I've got the 2 officers and the 2 musicians to do, and then 2 brigade, well, a brigade commander and an ADC mounted as well to do as well. But those 2 will be the last ones. But yeah, really enjoying these. Thoroughly recommend them to anybody. I've clattered the bayonets a few times so far, and I've not had any break. You know, if it's a decision, especially in these hard times, between doing a metal figure or a plastic one, I would definitely think about doing the plastics. You know, I don't think there's nothing detracting to me as painting them that detracts from. The only thing, as I say, is a couple of them I wish I'd have done slight. I'm just trying to find one. It's mainly on the tailbacks on these guys, I think. Tailback, yeah, tails, whatever. Of course, now I can't find one. I don't want to pick them up by the. These haven't been varnished, by the way. Not yet. As you can see, we've got a deep tail there on the turnbacks, and a smaller one there. You know, obviously you prefer to see that one. So what I would try and do, probably, if I do, well, I will probably be doing another unit of these, as I say, I sell them on, would be to, next time I'll try and carve out slightly that piece, so we just haven't got such a deep tail turn back. But apart from that, I think they're really nice. I say loads of head variants, and it's the head variants that probably will change the look of the unit, because obviously I mean, they've given you loads of different arm poses anyway, but these ones anyway, I don't know about the others. I've not painted any of the other French. I know there's another box out there, and is it a box of elite companies? You get them already pre-posed more or less. You know, you can't do, say, like with the British, well, I'm sure with the British one I had that many poses on them, but you can't really change the arm poses unless you're going to really carve up stuff, and you know, that's not worth me doing. But the heads will make an absolute difference to. I would strongly recommend removing the heads if you can. As I say, I've just happened to have these on the bench. These are what I use for modelling my Tamiya snips. They only get used, they're extremely sharp, and they only get used on smaller scale stuff when I'm taking them off the sprue. And I found these, you know, these are about 20 odd pounds. They work really well with giving me a level cut to take the head off rather than a scalpel. Okay, I could put them down to the neck area where there was a couple of times I went too deep, and that was my own fault. Again, I don't do a lot of plastics, and it's something you've got to just learn as you go. But yeah, I mean, don't use these, for heaven's sake, don't use these on metal. You'll destroy them. But yeah, plastic, if you can run to something like these, because these don't crush. I've got a couple of cheap versions of these, you know, that you can buy for a £5 or whatever, and they literally just crush. Whereas these two blades are fairly sharp, and they'll give you a really nice, literally pop the head in there and just gently, boom, and you're ready to go. So yeah, thoroughly recommended. I keep saying it, but I've really enjoyed doing these. So thank you for stopping by and taking a look. Really appreciate it. We've got these 6 coming up. I don't probably see the sense in showing the 7 Empress Dragoons, only because they're the same ones that you saw on the other video. You know, I know I joke about sticking loads of vids up, and especially these naps, but you know, you don't want to be seeing it. At least I can claim you're roughly seeing something different, even if you can't see the tonal variations. They're roughly different. So I think what we'll do with the Empresses, you're not going to see those until I've done the officers and the trumpeters, and that means then I've done the whole unit, and then I might as well just stick them on the base and then show you them completed. So with this unit, this box unit, as I say, I'm doing them 6 at a time. We're going down the box, as I keep saying. This one, what would you've seen them, what, probably halfway through. I've got another company, what I call the HQ company, to do, and then we've still got the Voltigeurs, the Grenadiers, and then more Voltigeurs skirmishing. But yeah, really enjoyable, because it's the older box. Any of you guys that haven't done this type of stuff before, and you're just getting into it and you've seen this video, it's one of probably their older boxes, but highly recommended. As I say, there's not a lot that you have to stick. You're not sticking canteens on and things like that. You know, I would thoroughly recommend it. Just have a go at swapping some of the heads around, because it really will change the look of a unit for you. Thanks a lot, guys. Coming up, well, we've just discussed all the naps, but there'll be obviously a slight delay in those as I'm going. I'll have a model related, probably the Hurricane 1 in 72. That's coming up. That's getting some paint on this afternoon. And my wife's printed me some stuff off from Armour Hobby, so I can make some masks for that, which I'm going to enjoy trying to have a go at. And yeah, there'll be when they arrive, they might arrive today, hopefully. I've got a tiny, I suppose, unboxing of some more 28mm figures. There's only 2, but hey, it's an unboxing. Something I've not done before, or not. Used them. Well, we'll wait anyway. Wait and see. It won't be a long video like this unless I really decide to waffle. Alright then, what am I kidding? It's Gav. It'll probably be a 20-minute video for 2 figures. Look after yourselves. I better get out of here before you really lose patience. Look after yourselves, take care, and we'll speak soon.